Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We were here with Desmond Adams running for the Democratic nomination to take on David Young in the 3rd Congressional District here in Polk County and the surrounding areas. It's the counties. Polk is one of them. Certainly it's an important one. It's for your constituency. A lot of Democrats here in Polk County. And generally, if you're able to carry Polk County by a lot, you can afford to take some of those hits in the Southern County. I think, let's see if I can remember my line. I believe it goes... Warren on West. Am I right about that? Warren's in the 3rd.
Warren is in the 3rd,
right.
But then it cuts across 35.
Right. Yes. Because Marion is in the 2nd.
Yes.
Yeah. And so right there on that dividing line is where so you're going to get a lot of Republicans and going off into Southwest Iowa. You can do well with the Democrats in Polk County. You got a really good shot at winning the whole thing. And to that end, my biggest concern is. Right now, my number one concern, especially about just politics in general in Iowa and in the country, is that the Democratic Party has been thumped in a big way, not just in these low turnout off-year national elections where 38% of people vote and the Republicans celebrate like it's some great victory where they finally get their minority views some national credibility, but we're losing governorships. We're losing
of all the attacks that I let go.
Yeah,
but minority opinion is not one I'm letting go. It's not a minority opinion. We're going straight back to Nixon.
Minority. Hey,
silent majority.
No,
silent majority.
The silent majority. You're in the minority on minimum wage. You're in the minority on abortion. You're in the minority on.
We're not in the minority on any of that.
On legalization. Yes, you are.
Just because the New York Times hit piece comes out doesn't mean we're in the minority. Ask your question without all the hit piece things on there.
Okay, fair enough. You could read some stats every once in a while, though, right?
Just ask your question before we take a commercial break and I beat you silly.
Okay, so but no, because I was about to if he'd listened, I was about to turn it back around because not only
2 minutes sitting there crapping on minority everything.
But we had 31 Republican governors.
Oh my God.
We have 31 Republican governors. The legislatures in majority states are controlled by Republicans. We're seeing Democratic parties at the local, state, and national level just completely eviscerated over the last 8 years. Is this something that you're tracking? Is this something that you're concerned about? And if so, do you have a prescription? Do you have a diagnosis? What's going on here?
I absolutely am not concerned about it.
You're not concerned about it?
Not at all. The challenge that folks are feeling is that they're not energized. They're not inspired. And it goes back to when I talked to you about trust. They want something different. And when you have the establishment, when you have folks that have already run for office, they've been in office, now they come back to the office, or let's say that we have some politicians that tend to jump into this race in January when we have the primary in June. They thought enough of their constituents in the 3rd district that you only want to give yourself 6 months to run. That level of arrogance is why people are not connecting to their politicians and their leaders today. We need folks that have the ability to talk to a multitude of audiences, not just the issue champions that I spoke of earlier. Whereas that's one of my benefits. Being someone that actually dropped out of high school, okay, and then went on to secure a doctorate of jurisprudence from Drake University Law School, I probably have a broad experience skill set. In that skill set, I'm able to talk to people where they are and able to understand their concern, and they trust me in that concern. But the challenge is, without a doubt, because of the money in politics and because of the issue champions, you start to see people that get disengaged, and we've devolved in our politics, so they stay home. And unfortunately, that's counterintuitive, but nevertheless, they stay home. And so I want to energize those individuals. I want them to know that you have someone that understands your plight. I understand the cost of milk. I've lived here. I've worked here. I'm from here. I'm with you. My kids were born here. I'm with you. And that's something that we have to get back to. I think we're missing that energy. We see retreaded politicians that take their time to come to us. They don't come to our events. You don't see them walking around the mall. You don't see them. So there's a disconnect. I can't blame them. Folks are tired of getting beat up.
Well, but to challenge you a little bit on that, I'm hearing what you're saying. Okay. Except that, and this is not a shot at Republicans, okay? But y'all think you're right. Y'all think that your ideas are right. I haven't heard a single presidential candidate on your side trot out something new and different in terms of policy. You guys think that your policies are right. You think that trickle-down economics works. You think that cutting taxes on the rich will benefit the poor. You think that's true. Now, so I'm not challenging you in that. What I'm saying is, you hear all of the ideas on the Republicans are basically the same as they have been for the last 40 years. You hear all of this movement on the Republican side. It's great. It's great to elect Democratic presidents. It's awesome to elect Democratic leadership at the national level. It's the states, it's the counties, it's the local level that's getting pounded. And if you're talking about the establishment have new ideas, well, the Republicans don't have new ideas. So where are all the Democrats? Why are they getting elected? That's and so that cuts across what I said earlier. See how I brought it back to you?
Yeah, that's right. Especially when we're in the minority. Our minority thoughts. I would like.
See how I brought that back to you?
Yes, I agree. I would like to have Desmond's input.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's really kick this can down the road a little bit. One of the things that the Republicans do very, very well, they're passionate about what they're talking about, and they drive that passion. And irrespective of polls, they drive that passion, and they talk who they are. They are authentic in their positions. They don't shift based on what somebody else tells them. We need our Democrats not to shift based on what someone tells you and to drive what you know.
Well, that's an interesting perspective, because that is exactly the same conversations I have with my Republican friends. So it appears that Democrats and Republicans are still fighting their own establishment. And with that, we're going to take a break, because I'm going to ask Desmond about his establishment, because I've heard some rumors out there. The Democrats are trying to get an establishment candidate to run. So we'll be back right after this. We're talking with Desmond Adams. Did I call you Desmond Howard?
I didn't hear it.
I don't think so.
I hope I didn't. God, I've gotten myself in trouble twice in 10 seconds. Can we edit that, Maddie?
No, we're live, buddy.
Oh, God, I hate being live. Anyway, we'll be back right after this break with Desmond Adams. We're very excited to have him here. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. We'll be back just